Hello, I'm Chris. I'm a content editor and content specialist at Classroom Secrets, and I'm responsible for creating Wake Up and Work. So Wake Up and Work is something I created to pull in resources that we've already got on the website. So Rise and Read, Rapid Arithmetic and Maths in Minutes, and I've put them all in one place to make it easier for teachers to use. When I was teaching in the classroom, I always used things like this for morning work. I always had a routine where Monday was one activity, Tuesday was a different activity, and so on. And I always found this was useful for children because they would come into the classroom and know exactly what subject they were going to be doing as part of their morning work on each day. I mostly taught in year 6, so I followed a system for morning work where it was subjects that would come up in SAT towards the end of year 6, and that would help children familiarise themselves with different aspects of those subjects. It also became a crucial part of retrieval practice as I put in things that had been taught over previous weeks or from earlier months to help children understand and repeat those activities. For morning work itself, I came up with the idea of Wake Up and Work in about January of this year when I was thinking about those things I used to do for morning work and how actually at Classroom Secrets we have lots of those things already made, Rapid Arithmetic, Maths in Minutes, Rise and Read, and putting them into one place rather than having them as separate documents would make things a lot easier for teachers in the classroom. And that was kind of the start of the creation process for Wake Up and Work. So I went off and did lots of research into what you wanted as customers, talked to teachers in the classroom, looked at what was already available on Classroom Secrets for morning work, and came up with Wake Up and Work. So that's a bit of an overview of them. So let me just show you them on the website, how you can get to them, why they're so brilliant, and why you might want to use them in the classroom. So I'm logged into the Classroom Secrets website here, so I could search for Wake Up and Work up at the top, and that would be a way to find them easily. So I'm just trying to find the keyboard over the microphone. So if I type in Wake Up and Work, if I press find, that's going to bring up all the Wake Up and Work resources though. As a teacher, if I'm in year 4, I'm not necessarily going to want to see year 6, year 3, year 2 and so on. I'm going to want to go straight to what the year 4 one is. So let's say I am a year 4 teacher. I could go up to the top, I could go to the Classroom Secrets. Let's go back to the website just to refresh that. Let's go to resources, let's go to year 4 and let's go to morning work. And then autumn will bring up all the autumn ones. Now just at this point it's worth saying that at the moment, at the time recording September 2025, this is how to find Wake Up and Work, but there will be a separate menu option for Wake Up and Work. So go to morning work and click autumn there, and now I've got all of just the year 4 autumn Wake Up and Work. Let's say it's the start of the autumn term and you want autumn 1 week 1. So if I scroll down to find it, it is here. Now I can click on this button here, just download it straight away if I want. You can see they're in order. Time recording, we're on autumn 2 week 1, and we're going to go all the way up to week 12, and then we'll go into spring and summer. So over the course of this academic year, there will be resources available for every single week. But let's just go for autumn 1 week 1 and just click that to open it up there as well. So in the resource, it's going to give a bit of an overview. Every time there is a link to the separate resources it draws on, so if you particularly like the Rise and Read, you can click on that, it will take you to those as well. And over here, we've got the different bits that shows us what it contains. So there's the Maths in Minutes, there's the Rise and Read, and there's the Rapid Arithmetic. So if I click download, that's going to download that, and let's show you that in the next part of the video. So each PowerPoint actually lasts for a week, and you'll see here at the bottom it says day 1, and so this first page is all about spellings. Years 2 to 6 use spellings from the national curriculum, with year 2 being common exception words and year 3 to 6 being from the national curriculum word lists. Each word is written with its word class and a definition that is child friendly, with some activities at the bottom and some challenges for extension work. The 4th challenge each week changes and uses a PAG feature to embed that further. For the autumn term, these will be from the previous year group, as children won't necessarily have had much of the PAG curriculum, but from spring 1, week 1 onwards, this changes to be an objective from the current year group. And so if I scroll to the next page, you'll see possible answers for the sentences, as well as how to sound out each word, and also some common misspellings, and obviously separate or separate. We've got there that common misspelling, and that goes on for all spellings each time as well. If I scroll back and forth as well, you can see how the footer changes, so you can see exactly where you are within the document as well. The second day is then Maths and Minutes, which is different areas of the maths curriculum away from arithmetic, and is designed to be answered by children on a whiteboard. Now, all of Wake Up and Work is designed to be displayed on an interactive whiteboard and frozen, so you're free as a teacher to do all the tasks that crop up in the morning, like the register, speaking to a parent and so on, meaning there's no printing cost, but you can of course print these out if you want. And again, on the following page, we've got the answers for these, so nice and easy for you to click through and show children the answers so they can self-mark. As we go through the year, for example, here, note that all Wake Up and Work resources from year 2 to year 6 always follow this structure, having these in the same order. Year 1 slightly different, which I'll show you afterwards as well. Day 3 is Rise and Read, which is a short text and some questions. The question types change each session as well, each week, to give a range of opportunities to show understanding, and the text type will change as well with use of an image, a quote, non-fiction, poetry and so on. At this point I should also point out the lovely bright colours which will help children wake up and work ready for their day of learning. And there we've got the answers. And then day 4, which is Rapid Arithmetic, which is 3 columns for questions that draw from the same area each time, with some children working through set A, some on set B and some on set C, again designed to be answered on children's individual whiteboards. We're now on day 4. This might be Thursday in your class, but you can use these in whatever order you want. You might decide in your class that you want to have this on a Wednesday instead. Maybe you have an early assembly on a Thursday, so you want to use this later on in the day instead of actual morning work. That's absolutely fine. Whatever works for you and your class. I should also point out at this point there's also other uses for Wake Up and Work beyond morning work, such as tutors, breakfast club, intervention, supply teachers, home learning and so on as well. And then finally we're on to day 5, which is one of our favourites of Classroom Secrets, which is I Wonder. So Classroom Secret staff thought of loads of different open-ended questions for children to think about and articulate a response to. The beauty with these is they are open-ended with no right or wrong answer, and instead give children the opportunity to consider their personal response and share it, with an image always being used to support understanding. They provide brilliant oracy opportunities, and discussions around answers can get quite heated. So hopefully that overview was really helpful for you, and I'll just remind you what year groups these are for in the next part of the video, looking back at the website, and I'll show you year 1. So I'm now back on the Classroom Secrets website, and I've searched Wake Up and Work to find all the Wake Up and Work resources. So I mentioned year 1 a few times. Let's look at year 1 just to finish off. So I'm going to navigate to year 1. Let's go to resources, year 1, morning work, autumn. These are obviously a little bit different at this time of the year because children have just moved up from EYFS, so they're very much based on activities they did in reception class with slightly different content to years 2 to 6. And you can see in the previews that year 1 in day 1 uses a phonics based activity instead of spellings, which increases in challenge throughout autumn 2. So in autumn 1 we've got this activity with sound buttons and so on, with images, and then for autumn 2 it then increases to something like this where we've got words that children have to identify a specific sound, and that also increases in challenge over the course of the autumn 2 term. Day 3 is also a little bit different for year 1 with a specially written reading task, which I will show you in the preview now. So that's day 1, there's Maths in Minutes day 2, and then finally the reading task on day 3 there. So year 1, as implied by that, also uses Maths in Minutes, also uses Rapid Arithmetic, and also uses the I Wonder question to finish off. And just note there with I Wonder as well, what is in the year 1 resource for autumn 2 week 1 is the same as what will be in the year 2 resource for autumn 2 week 1, which will make it a little bit easier for those who are teaching in classes with multiple year groups. As said, Wake Up and Work can be used in any week. At the moment we're up to autumn 2 week 1, but by the time I get through year you'll have access to every single week, and with each Wake Up and Work resource giving a piece of morning work for each day, your entire year will have a piece of morning work for every single day. I hope that's really useful for explaining Wake Up and Work to you, and I hope these resources will be of use to you in your class over the course of the school year, and remember to let us know at Classroom Secrets how you get on. Good luck!